Hi everyone, today in this video we are going to learn Hungarian method. First of all, we have to know how to do assignment model problem. In my previous video, I have already given the explanation of how to do the assignment model problem. If you have no idea about the assignment model problem, you can watch. I will give the video in link in description. Coming to this Hungarian method, first we have to do assignment model here. First we have to, in assignment model, we have to check whether the given matrix is balanced or not. So the number of rows and number of columns, when we observe, the number of rows is equal to number of columns. That is 4 in, this is the 4 by 4 matrix. So it is a balanced matrix. There is need not to do any uh, uh, any dummy matrix, dummy row or dummy column, because it is balanced. So the next step is we have to find out the row minimum value. We have find out the row minimum and subtract it from each element in the row, and we have got this matrix, and from this matrix again we find out the column minimum value. So after finding the column minimum, we have to subtract it from each element in the column, then we find out the matrix. We already learned how to assign the zeros in the assignment model problem. Here we have assigned the zeros. When we observe here, this matrix is 4 by 4 matrix, but the number of zeros assigned here is 1, 2 and 3. That is, it is not equal to the matrix size. So the number of zeros must be assigned is 4. In this condition, we will apply the Hungarian method here to assign 4 zeros in each row and each column. So how to do assignment model problem? In assignment model problem, we have to first find out unassigned row, which row is unassigned. So tick that row and we have to find out the crossed 0 in that row, and we have to tick the corresponding column. That means the 0 in which column we have to tick that column. After that tick mark, we have to find out the assigned 0 in that column and tick that corresponding row. Suppose when we observe here in this example, here there is a first row there is assigned 0, in second row also assigned 0, third row also there is assigned 0, but in fourth row there is no assigned 0. So we have to tick the corresponding row. This is first tick mark, and then we have to find out which 0 is crossed in this row. We have find out this 0 is crossed. So we have to tick the corresponding column. So we have tick the corresponding column. In this column, we have to find out the assigned 0. Here the first row, the 0 is assigned. The corresponding row must be ticked. So after ticking all these things, we have to form a loop. So how to form a loop? We have to cross the unticked rows and ticked columns. That is, unticked rows and ticked columns. Where are the unticked rows? These 2 rows are unticked. So we have to cross these 2 rows. And when we observe, there is only one column which is ticked. We have to ticked columns. So we have to cross this row. So after finding the loop, we have to find out the minimum value from these remaining numbers. In these remaining numbers, which value is minimum value? 7, 11, 3, 9, 12, 11. 3 is the minimum value. So after finding the minimum value from the remaining values, we have to do 3 things. That is, we have to add, subtract and no touch. Which elements must be added, at which we have to add, at which we have to subtract, at which we need not to touch? The 2 columns, that means the 2 lines where they intersect, we have to add here. These 2 columns we have to add in these 2 cases, and subtract remaining elements from the remaining elements. That means remaining elements are 9, 12, 11, 7, 11, 3. We have to subtract 3, that is minimum value, 3 from each element, and no touch. The line which is passing through, we don't need to touch that those elements. So we have to subtract 3 from remaining elements. 7 minus 3, 4. 11 minus 3, 7. 3 minus 3, 0. So we don't need to touch the line which is passing through. So we have to leave that 0 as usual. And 0, 11, 13. When we observe here, the two lines are intersecting. So we have to add 3 here. Here already we are having 13. So we have to add 3. We can get 16. After that, we have to find, don't need to touch the 3, 0, 0. Here touch is there. Before that we have 0. So we have to add 3. Then coming to 9. 9 minus 3, 6. 12 minus 3, 9. 11 minus 3, 8. And we need not to touch 0 here. After finding this matrix, we have to assign now. So in the first row, when we observe there are 2 zeros, we have to leave this row. Coming to next row, there is only 1 0. We have to assign that 0 and check whether there is any 0 in that column. There is no 0. Coming to third row, there are 2 zeros, so leave that row and come to fourth row. There are only 1 0, so assign that 0 and corresponding 0 must be crossed. And now coming to column wise. In first column there is already assigned 0, and second column there is only 1 0, so we have to assign. In corresponding row there is a 0, so we have to cross it. Coming to next column, there is only 1 0. So the number of zeros assigned here now 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a 4 into 4 by 4 matrix, and number of zeros assigned is also 0. Then now we have to find out the optimum cost, that is percent, job and cost. We have already seen in assignment model, so repeat that problem. Here percent in the first column M1, M2, M3, M4 in the given matrix given. So J2, J3, J4. Percent M1, M2, M3, M4. So M1 is assigned J3 job, M2 assigned J1 job, M3 assigned J2 job, M4 assigned J4 job. So the corresponding cost must be seen in the first given matrix. Compare these positions and assign the zeros. In the first matrix, when we observe M1 J3 value is M1 J3 19, and M2 J1 value is 15, and M3 J2 value is 21, and M4 J4 value is 12. When we add these 4 numbers, we get 67. This is the optimum cost of our problem, that is minimum cost. Thank you for watching, guys.